Magandang hapon mga kaliga, muli ay MPBL na sa ating pagpapatuloy ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, as we come to you live from the home of the inaugural season champions of the MPBL, the Batangas City Coliseum. And as we begin another week for our beloved league, we begin things with BACOOR against Mindoro. There you see Aaron Hiruta again with his mask. Even though he has been playing with that mask, he's been comfortable with it, scoring 14 points in the previous outing. Today, he will face his former teammate, Paulo Hubalde, who had 13, 9, and 5 in their previous game here in the 5th season of our league. It's BACOOR versus Mindoro, followed by Imos versus Sarangani, and then Batangas City will be hosting for the 10th time this season against the Negros Muscovados, who are looking to fight for another day here in the 5th season of the MPBL. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya and Andrea Indisio. Now, Javi, let's focus on BACOOR for a while here. They're number 1 in the South Division standings. How convinced are you that they are the Titans in the South?
Well, you know, with the last 2 games that they played, these last 2 victories that they won over Batangas and Quezon, they reintroduced themselves as one of the best, if not the best defensive team in the league. And as you said, the Titan in the Southern Division.
And now we got the thoughts of Javi Palanya. Let's get the thoughts of Coach Alex Angeles through our courtside reporter, Andrea Indisio. Andrea, what's going on with the BACOOR City side?
One thing that struck me the most mula sa conversation namin ni Coach Alex Angeles kanina is the fact na hindi man daw smooth sailing ang season na ito para sa kanila ang mahalaga. Hinaharap nila ito ng sama-sama along the ups and downs in every obstacle. Mas lalo daw silang tumatatag at pinatitibay ng panahon. So to put it simply, the BACOOR strikers believe that they will only solidify their position right now if they can solidify their team, their core, and their hearts even more. At tama naman, because at the end of the day, it all starts from within. Right, Mix and Javi?
Wow, that was a very heartfelt answer coming from Coach Alex Angeles. Great job interviewing him, Andrea. And we do expect BACOOR to keep their spirits high today against Mindoro. Now, we do thank you for joining us live on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal TV. Also, on our live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. And as we are about to end our regular season, Mr. Javi Palanya will be breaking down our team standings, beginning with the North Division.
Well, let's see here, Pampanga and Nueva Ecija continue to remain supreme. But so far, our playoff picture slowly starting to get into shape. Makikita nyo dyan ang teams that are highlighted in dark. Wala nang pag-asa to enter into our postseason. But Bataan and Rizal, they still have a fighting chance to catch the last bus to the playoffs. But they will have to win their final games going into the end of our regular season to be able to overtake Marikina and possibly even Pasay. So important talaga ang mga last games for the teams at the bottom. While the top 4 teams, it was also important na makuha rin nila mga panalo in their last few games so that they could solidify their spot to get home court advantage in the postseason.
Thank you, Javi, for indulging us with the North Division. But today, this is the more important division, the South Division.
Yeah, all of the teams playing here today are coming from the South. BACOOR continuing to solidify their spot as the top team in the Southern Division. And you see here Sarangani, Negros, and Bacolod all still fighting for a chance to get past the Iloilo United Royals, and that's why it's important for these 3 teams, Sarangani, Negros, and Bacolod, to not anymore lose. They have to get their victories in their last remaining ball games to be able to have even a fighting chance of getting past the Iloilo United Royals.
How about that? Muntinlupa, you might say that they're the only ones solidified at the 6th spot. Tapos 5 yung nag-aagawan para sa slot 7-8. At 5 rin ang nag-aagawan para naman sa home court advantage in the South Division. Now let's talk about the BACOOR City Strikers. As Javi mentioned, back-to-back big-time wins for them here in the 5th season of the MPBL.
Now here in this game against the BACOOR City Strikers, as I mentioned earlier, coming off a win against the Batangas City Embassy Chill, here they even delivered an even greater defensive masterclass, outscoring the Quezon Huskers 25-6 in that first period, and they never looked back after that, preventing any chance for Quezon to get back into this game. They led by as much as 36 points in the game, and they limited Quezon to the lowest possible output of a team this season. They only let Quezon score 43 points, and look at that, Mix. The key stat here, they only got Quezon to shoot 13 conversions from the field in that game, 19.7%. This is a game of shooting baskets, and it's very hard to win a ball game or even make a game competitive if you only shoot 13 out of 66. They scored 10 from the outside, talking about the BACOOR City Strikers, dominated the boards like they always do, and their bench mob always came in. It was a total team effort once again for the Strikers in this game as they got their second straight victory at home.
It's actually signature Quezon Huskers basketball for them to shoot 50% of their shots from downtown, but they only converted 3 out of 33. That was such an amazing defensive stint by BACOOR. As you mentioned, they are, after all, the #1 defensive team in the 5th season of the MPBL. Now let's talk about the Mindoro Disciplinados, who have been struggling, of course, in the season, but still, their campaign has been a lot better than last year's. So in the previous game, they lost against Pampanga.
Well, definitely a lot greater heights being achieved by the Disciplinados this season with a new core, with new players, with new veterans coming into their roster. Here in this game, they actually started out well against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, outscoring the Pampanga squad 13-1 in the first few minutes of that ball game. Pampanga opted to have a different starting lineup in this game. They started CJ Ganya, Mitchell Mines, and Roland Santos in place of the usual starters, Encho Serrano, Balti Baltazar, and Archie Concepcion. But as soon as Governor Dennis Delta Pineda saw that Mindoro was having a good start, pinasok niya na sila Encho Serrano. And when that happened, Pampanga was able to turn the tide and finally got that victory in dominating fashion once again. And although it was a game where naputol ang double-double streak ni Balti Baltazar, is still a big victory for Pampanga, 91-70. Here are your numbers. Great defensive showcase once again by the Pampanga, limiting Mindoro to just 35% from the field, and they also outscored them in the different departments that you saw on your screens.
I have to say, great storytelling right there, Javi. But another convincing win by Pampanga that definitely was against Mindoro. It is going to be BACOOR versus Mindoro, as now we turn you over to Miguel Perey.
Happy Monday mga kaliga, and let's start the day with some great basketball action here at the Batangas City Coliseum for the 2023 OK Bet Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 5 presented by Extreme. It's BACOOR City versus Mindoro, live on the official MPBL Facebook page, YouTube channel, and on MPTV Signal Channel 98. Time to meet the starters. First, for BACOOR City Strikers, Philbet.com. Starting at guard number 9, Aaron Heruta. Also at guard number 17, Alvin Alday. Starting at center, number 81, Jammer Hamito. At forward, number 29, John Nermal. And at power forward, number 52, Mark G. Head coach for BACOOR City Strikers, Philbet.com, is Alex Angeles. Assistant coaches, RB Mangajas, Jigs Guadamor, Marlo Aquino, Marlo Corpin, Big Mac Andaya, and Royce Cuevas. Team consultants are Cap BJ Aganos, Billy Generalao, and Chris Conway. Assistant team managers, Lawrence Anuse. Team manager and co-owner, Mr. Dennis Abella. Team owners are Honorable Mayor Strike B. Revilla and Ms. Shay Cabal Revilla. Now, the starting 5 for Mindoro Disciplinados. Starting at center, number 24, Kristen Big Boy Hernandez. At forward, number 25, Babab Santa Maria. Also at forward, number 13, Ken Osicos. At guard, number 0, the Aquaman, Paulo Hupalde. And the other guard, number 14, Tay Chodoro. Head coach for Mindoro Disciplinados is Buds Reyes. Assistant coaches, Benji Chodoro and JR Magbala. Team manager is Justin Dada. Team owner is Honorable Mayora Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz of Pola Oriental Mindoro.
Presenting the starters for BACOOR in Mindoro, we have Aaron Heruta, Alvin Alday, Jammer Hamito, Marky, and John Nermal for the Strikers. And then we have Tay Teodoro, Paulo Hubalde, Cristian Hernandez, Babab Santa Maria, and Engineer Ken Osicos for the Disciplinados. We do thank you for joining us, folks. This is X Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya and Andrea Endicio, coming to you live from the Batangas City Coliseum. This game is featuring a team with a record of 20 wins and 4 losses. It's been 4 straight wins for the BACOOR City Strikers going up against Mindoro, who have an opposite record of 4 wins and 20 defeats in the 5th season of our league. And we do have a couple of missing pieces for BACOOR in this game. No James Cuecote and no Mike Carniente, among others. Wala rin sina Lester Reyes and Mark Mantuano. But with those missing pieces, do your expectations change for BACOOR?
Definitely not, because what they have shown this season, even with their deep roster, you know, kahit sino mawala sa kanila, they've proven that they could perform, and that's what Coach Alex Angeles has always instilled, na kahit na sino maglaro, they always have that next man up mentality so that they may be able to do well even without those key pieces.
And we've talked about them as a deep team talent-wise, no? That some of their third-string players might qualify as second-string players for other teams, some even as starters. Aabot nga sa punto na yung reserve players, no? Pwede maging quality players for other teams.
That's correct. You know, we haven't even seen JC Adjei much on the floor this season para sa BACOOR City Strikers, and he was a key piece last season for a different squad. As Jan Normal now, he has been the most key player for BACOOR this season, and what's most impressive is he's done that among a constellation of other stars here for the Strikers.
Would you go as far as saying that he has been their best player o hindi naman?
Definitely.
Oh yes, he is.
Because he has been playing good on both ends of the floor. Of course, Marky is there, masasabi natin, the living legend of the MPBL. But of course, Marky has deferred to his other teammates. The mere fact that his presence is there to lead their squad, yan naman ang talagang role ni Marky. But in terms of putting in the numbers and leading their squad in terms of performance, it's really been Jan Normal this season.
Well, the good thing is Jan Normal is really proving your point right now, as he scored another basket for BACOOR. The score is 7-4 as Bapao Santa Maria scores.
A rare start in this game para kay Baba Santa Maria. In fact, a tweak in the starting unit here for Coach Buds Reyes. You know, Paulo Obalde in that game against Pampanga was shifting between the 3 and 4 spots so that Coach Buds Reyes could let their other guards play as Alvin Alday knocks down another floater. But going back to that point, Coach Buds Reyes wants to give more exposure to the younger guards here for the Disciplinados to be able to prepare them for next season. These last few games are a tryout for the roster that will be shaping up for Mindoro next season, as they do want to get a better performance next year.
Going back to Paulo Obalde transitioning as a forward for Mindoro, especially in the previous game against Pampanga, did you see it as an advantage or a disadvantage at times for them?
Well, of course, height-wise, definitely a disadvantage. But Paulo Obalde is a veteran. That's why you put him anywhere, he will be able to adjust and he will be able to find a way to contribute. And he really very well did that with those different sets that they ran. As Jan Normal, first miss of the game from the outside.
But Aaron Hiruta was there for the cleanup. This guy, even though he's been playing with a mask, he told me that it hasn't changed anything in terms of his vision. That's good for him. At hindi rin naman daw nalalaglag yung mask niya, no? As compared to Marco Balagtas's mask. So, mukhang mas maganda yung mask ni Aaron Hiruta, for reference to all of you viewers out there.
And I think ever since he wore that mask, talagang umangat ang kanyang performance, even getting best player of the game last game.
Oh, Alvin Alday now hitting from downtown. We also can't forget about the fact that 4 of these 5 starters were a part of that Bacolod team last year.
Yeah, and Alvin Alday was actually a very key part of their Bacolod squad last year, led by Coach Alex Angeles. And I think this is a good time for Alvin to really showcase his talents once more and prove to everybody, not just to his squad, that he can be one of our deadly scorers here in the league.
Well, he is a part of our 1,000 points club after all. The score is 14-4. Not even halfway done in the opening frame. Well, let's talk about the games that happened in the Bataan People's Center. Jensen able to defeat Bacolod by 7 points. Muntinlupa outlasting Bicol, but boy, what a last game that was between Bataan and Marikina.
Oh, that was definitely a great showdown between these two squads. Both teams not wanting to give an inch. That was a game that featured a lot of fouls and a lot of free throws. So it was really a very long ball game that really went down the wire. But Bataan showing that they will be very formidable on their home floor.
Might I say, the emotions from that game did not stop in the court. It even reached social media. It was that emotional as Tristan Hernandez scores on the mid-range.
aside from that, it was a very important game between those two squads because they are fighting for that last spot in the North Division for our postseason.
And you did talk about it in our team standings in the pregame. Ang dami naglalaban, no? For survival here in the 5th season of our league. Jammer Hamito was fouled by Ken Osicos.
There was still 5 seconds left on that shot clock. He didn't really have to take it just yet. He could have passed the ball to another guy on the wing or maybe took a couple of more dribbles to inch closer. But Ken Osicos did not resist clipping his arm to commit that personal.
Hamito's first free throw is good. This guy has been all over the league. He played for San Juan, played for Pampanga. May iba pa ba?
Parang yun pa lang.
Yan pa lang, no? Pero marami na rin yun. That's 3 teams in 2 seasons, by the way, for Jammer Hamito. Second one is good. And now, let's turn you over to Andrea Endicio.
One could really say that negativity is not in the vocabulary of Coach Buds Reyes, as he's the type who would greet you with a big smile no matter what situation he is in. Sabi nga niya, every day is an adventure. Every game is an exam, a test of how much you have prepared, a test of which part you could improve on. Although Janjan Baltazar won't be playing tonight and this is the last game of Aja Miranda and Marvel Jimenez, at this point they just want to learn more para naman daw next season, we can expect a big comeback from the Disciplinados. Mix and Happy?
First of all, as Jammer Hamito scores for BACOOR, ayan na, na-reveal na po yung sekreto ni Coach Louie Gonzalez. So last game na nga po ni AJ Miranda for Mindoro today. And second, I want to react to what Andrea said about Coach Buds Reyes. Last year pa natin pinag-uusapan yan, even though he had a team that had, 8 players at some point in his lineup, his positivity just never wavered.
That's correct. And Coach Buds Reyes has been retired from the coaching scene for quite a while. And he could have just chosen to enjoy retirement, but the opportunity to get back into the game, to once again experience the competitive spirit of coaching, he could not resist it.
Do you have a relationship with him outside of the MPBL?
Well, we do have a few conversations from time to time as he is the father of my good friend Mikey Reyes. So talagang I have somehow shared some conversations with him and he definitely resonates a lot of optimism and positivity. The same goes for his wife, Tita Annie Reyes.
So hindi lang sa basketball?
Hindi lang.
Parang may mga life advice kang nakuha mula kay Coach Buds. Jammer Hamito is at the stripe again and he converts. BACOOR is still perfect from the free throw line and they are leading 20-6, halfway done. Just halfway done, as I should say, in the opening frame. And here comes AJ Miranda on his last game for Mindoro. Bapap Santa Maria will fire from straight away. That's short. Ball tapped in favor of Marquis and BACOOR.
Once again, the strikers exuding a lot of their defensive prowess here early on. Even if this is a game against a team that has no more chance of entering the playoffs, they still want to make sure that they remain sharp heading into the final games of this regular season campaign.
Boy, they're gonna need that momentum as they reach the first round of the playoffs as Marquis scores inside. Alam naman natin, no, na pagdating ng playoffs, best of 3 lang yan sa first round. You never know, you might get knocked off by the number 8 seed.
That's correct. And to add to that fact is this season, we've seen a lot of upsets. There have been a lot of times where you thought na alam mo kung na sino mananalo, but then again, a lot of teams have proven to us that bilog talaga ang bola.
I myself am guilty of that, which makes me even happier for the 5th season of our league. Hate to say this, but last year it was almost predictable for Nueva Ecija to have won the championship. This season, if you ask anybody, wala na talaga masasagot ang mga tao. See what happened in the previous sequence. 3 free throws for Jan Nermal.
Another bad foul by the Disciplinados. This time it's Baba Santa Maria hitting a little bit of that body on Jan Nermal. Those are the lousiest fouls that you could give, especially with the shot clock winding down. You play good defense until the end of that 24 to just give up a foul and give Jan Nermal 3 free throws.
And BACOOR continues to be perfect. 6 out of 6 from the stripe. Jan Nermal is well on his way to again surpass his season average. And there's the first miss by BACOOR. But they get the ball back. Jan Nermal for 3. Too strong. Ball tapped in favor of Mindoro.
At talaga makikita mo na talaga, Mix, no? The difference in the confidence of Jan Normal, there is no hesitation for him to take a shot, especially when he's wide open. Compared to last season when he would think twice, he would just want to put the ball on the floor more and attack the basket. But the consistency with that outside shot has really given him a lot of confidence in stroking it from distance.
Oh, I remember in the playoffs, he was dared by his opponents to shoot that three. As we take a look at that block, courtesy of the blonde in Jammer Hamito. Is he blonde or is his hair white or silver? I don't get it. But you know, that has been a theme, no? In the season of the MPBL.
Yeah, actually, a lot of players have been getting their hair dyed mid-season. And you know, Jammer Hamito, I remember in their last game, I think that was against Batangas, came into the venue with a fit that was very fashionable. He came in a coat and trousers plus loafers.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish you could have gotten us a picture. We
actually featured it on our coverage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see that
Pang
again.
NBA fits eh.
Kahit na sobrang init sa Pilipinas, no? As Jan Normal scores inside.
Oh, once again, another basket for Jan Normal. That's on 9 points in the game para sa kanya. This time, putting the ball on the deck and kissing it off the glass.
Well, again, he's proving your point that he has been the best player of BACOOR in this season. The score now is 26-10 after that basket by AJ Miranda.
That guy has been arguably the best player this season for the Mindoro Disciplinados, especially with the departure of Sherman Concepcion. He has had to shoulder that load para sa Mindoro.
AJ Miranda is number 7 in the league in scoring at 15 per outing, number 5 in assists at 6.5 times per game, and he's also number 3 in minutes played at 29.4. Jimenez misfires. Yi got the board. And the horror will slow things down.
As much as that we have been wowed this season by AJ Miranda, you know what excites me the most about AJ moving forward in his career is how he will tear up the NCAA this upcoming season.
Now, among the players of JRU, and of course a lot of them have impressed us in this season, who are you most excited for to watch in the NCAA?
It's actually AJ Miranda and Marvin Junicio. These two guys, it's not to say that JL De Los Santos has not been having a spectacular season for the Muntinlupa Cagers, but those two guys that I just mentioned, they have just really elevated their game. And even Coach Louie, you know, has been a bit surprised about how they were able to deliver for their respective squads.
Oh, we have been having fun with Coach Louie's reactions on air as his players have been booming here in the MPBL. Viloria on the reverse, yes.
And nice to see Cranial Viloria already getting into better shape after being in and out of the roster due to various injuries. And nice to see on that drive that his explosiveness has come back.
Actually, he's been out for the last 2 games because of a bad tummy. Masakit ang tiyan ni Cranial Viloria, which has forced him to, of course, not eat with the best of his ability. Kaya pumayat siya ngayon. Well, the test for him now is with his new weight. Is it going to help him or is it going to be a degrading factor of his game?
Well, on that drive that you saw that mukhang it went well for para sa kanya. Let's see as this game progresses if he could very well adjust to that further.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Jimenez, that was too strong. Rebound Chito Jaime. The score is 28-10 and we're still in the opening frame. BACOOR has been shooting the ball at a 66% clip as compared to the 31% of Mindoro. Viloria lost the ball, but it was tapped away.
Could have gotten away with a walk there. Cranial Viloria kind of shuffled his feet upon receipt of that basketball.
I have to say, you can really see na pumayat si Cranial, no? Hindi naman ba mukhang concerning?
Hindi naman. Actually, mukhang mas ngayon nakikita na talaga yung cuts niya sa katawan.
All right, so we have a timeout, 28-10. We are back inside the Batangas City Coliseum. Just saw Michael Cañete in street clothes. He's not available for today alongside James Cuecote. But there doesn't seem to be any alarming injury for Mike. Same goes for James. Just a rest day. Now it's Jimboy Pastoran on the court with Chito Jaime, who makes that floater. And they also have Craniel Viloria, Decoy Lopez, who just celebrated his birthday, by the way, and Joel Liu for BACOOR.
Chito Jaime has been playing inspired basketball as of late. He's been dedicating his games to a relative that just passed away. So talagang iniigihan niya ang kanyang performance on the court to be able to dedicate those games.
Our condolences to Chito Jaime and his family. Turnover forced. And that's a foul to stop the fast break. Can it be?
They could have a case. There was no Mindoro player in front.
The referees are going to review whether or not it's an unsportsmanlike foul. We used to call it an advantage foul back in the day. Boy, was it a big deal, no? Nung nagsimula yung advantage foul na yun.
Let's see here, the strip by Joel Liu, and then ball recovered by Decoy Lopez.
So it's no unspo here. The foul was called on McDonald Santos, and I'm not kidding about his name. That is his real name. I did ask him about it when he was growing up. Ano, nabully ka ba? Sabi niya, nung grade school, onte. Pero syempre, malaki akong tao eh. So eventually, nasanay na lang din lahat. And he's been out because of an ankle injury since April, by the way. Medyo matagal-tagal yun. And that's also because he has a day job, no? Working for a telecom company. Steal and a breakaway for Craniel Viloria.
Well, it seems the loss of weight has been beneficial today in the, at least here in the first quarter, para dito kay Craniel Viloria. Already 4 points in this game. All of his baskets have come from attacking the basket. That was a steal from the backcourt all the way to the other side for the finish.
Did you see him? He just gave a smile at you. He knew that you were talking about him.
Minsan talaga feel ko may nakikinig yung mga players sa atin.
May earpiece in, no?
Oo.
2 seconds here. Ball tapped away. So that should do it. What a very anticlimactic way to end the first quarter. The score reads 32-10.
Once again, the strikers, just as they did against the Quezon Huskers, limiting their foe today, the Mindoro Disciplinados, to just 10 points. Just a little bit more than what Quezon was able to score in their last game. Had 6 points as compared to 25 for the strikers in that first period of their last game. But here, BACOOR scoring much more in this game, led by that man on your screens, John Nermal, who's hit shots from the outside, gotten inside the paint, scored on free throws, and Craniel Viloria, that last play turning defense into offense.
He does seem to have his quickness after losing some weight in the past couple of weeks. Great start for Craniel and company. It's a 22-point lead. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. This is Mix Gomez alongside Abby Palanya and Andrea Endicio at your service for your MPBL Monday in Batangas. The score is 32-10 in favor of BACOOR, and Chito Jaime adds 3 more for the Strikers.
He's really recovering his deadly form here for the Strikers this season. As you look at the first quarter field goal story on your screens, 66%. A whopping 12 out of 18 from the field for the Strikers in that first quarter, while limiting Mindoro to just 29%. Another great defensive masterclass in the first period for the Strikers.
Now they get another stop. Sorry, miss for Paulo Hubalde. Joel Liu pushing as always, and he picked up the foul.
But what's different for Joel Liu right now is he's really very much more confident in that outside shot of his. He has been taking a lot of attempts recently from the outside for the Strikers.
When you mean outside, is that the perimeter or the three-point area?
Both areas.
Wow. Big testament for your former teammate.
Indeed. Well, sabi niya talagang kung mag-shooting ka ba naman kasama mo si James Quecote,
Oo.
500 to 1,000 shots after practice, hindi ka ba masasanay?
Tatlo sila, di ba? With Aaron Heruta.
That's correct.
35-10 here. Vaigan, three-pointer for Rodel.
Well, that's what Mindoro needs this game to get their outside shooting going, and there's not one guy who can lead them, but itong si Rodel Vaigan.
Rodel Vaigan actually leads the whole of the MPBL at three-point shooting percentage at 42%. That was the first 3 of Mindoro in this game. After 7 tries, tatlo na sa kabila para sa BACOOR. Paulo Hubalde shoving away his defender, and he scores.
Great use of the pick and roll there by Paulo Hubalde. Defender went under the screen, although the guy on the back was able to try and challenge the shot. That's almost automatic para kay Paulo Hubalde.
First 2 points in the game for Paulo. Lopez misfires. Nice effort inside. Chito Jaime trying to pound his way through. No basket. And here comes Ajem Miranda. Ajem, playing his last game in the MPBL, gets fouled.
And you could really see on that play that he is trying to make the most out of it. No numbers on the break for the Mindoro Disciplinados. As you see, this was the previous setup. Ajem Miranda finding Rodel Vaigan on that left wing. But going back to Ajem, you saw that he was against 3 defenders in their front court, but still decided to attack the rim, spun against 2 defenders, and was able to draw contact. That's why he's at the line for 2 shots.
Miranda converted on his first one. That's the first free throw in this game for Mindoro as compared to the 7 by BACOOR. 1 out of 2. Balik tayo kay Jimboy Pastoran. Defended by Ajem Miranda. Did they face each other as well in the NCAA?
Yes. Of course, Jimboy played for the CSB Blazers.
In this wala kay Chito Jaime, Viloria recovers, but he couldn't make a basket. And now, the Aquaman bounces to Coach Alex Angeles.
Pass a little bit too behind there para kay Ken Osico. So definitely the right intention in mind para kay Paulo Hubalde. Pushing the basketball, trying to locate his big man downside, but just not on the money right there with that feed.
Still great leadership by Paulo on the other end, giving a high five to Ken Osicos for some encouragement. No high-low for BACOOR. Instead, they go to Jimboy Pastoran with 8 on the shot clock. Tito Jaime, almost a steal. Jaime will drive. Lefty layup is good.
It seems it's not just Grania Viloria who has gained more quickness in this game para sa BACOOR City Strikers. Everybody has had renewed agility here in this game para sa BACOOR.
Well, that gives us a challenge for Andrea Indicio as Paulo Hubalde drains a jumper. Andrea, if you're listening, can you find out if there's an adjustment in terms of the agility skills of our BACOOR City Strikers? Kung meron man sa training nila, no? Thank you so much, Joel Liu. Ooh, the drop off for Joel Liu, and he makes the 3-pointer.
Wow. He really has been adding that shot to his repertoire, and that was off the dribble, by the way.
Right.
He started knocking down those kinds of shots on catch and shoot opportunities, but you could really see that renewed confidence, actually not renewed confidence, that added confidence in stroking that outside shot getting it off the dribble.
I'm anticipating Joel Liu to be approaching the commentator's table later on. And he's going to be talking trash to his former teammate, Javi Palanya.
Oh, for sure. The last time he did that to me against Batangas.
40-19, a blocking foul.
Hit a similar shot and then gave those 3 fingers to the wrist and pointed at me. And here you see Joel Liu decking Rodel Baigan. What a shot right there. Step back, 3-pointer from the right wing. Nothing but bottom.
So, in the last week, we saw an ankle breaker courtesy of Eman Calo. Now we see another one courtesy of Joel Liu. Those two players, by the way, in the past couple of years, they haven't been known for the 3-point shooting.
They actually have been known both for their defense.
Yeah, exactly. Ken Osicos just answered back with a 3-pointer of his own. It's now 40-21. Another 6 minutes in the second. Daniel Viloria drives, the bounce. Canyal was stripped off that basketball. And here comes AJ Miranda. AJ will decide to fire straight away. Too strong. Rebound Canyal. That's Miles Canyal, by the way. Is it the first time that you're covering him as well?
Yes, this is. I think this is also his first game of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Joel Liu got hit hard, by the way, in the previous driving sequence. Hindi na magpapatalo si Rodel Baigan after he got his ankles broken. See what happened here. Ooh.
Medyo nasundot yung bilong doon.
I actually saw a bit of a kick as well from Rodel. Might have been unintentional. No one sportsmanlike foul given up. Just 2 free throws for Joel Liu.
Oh, the contact was inadvertent naman, especially that kick. But you know, that's the game that Joel Liu has been known to play, slashing and getting to the basket, absorbing contact. He has always had strong upper body strength.
Does he have a favorite angle in terms of driving?
It's always going to the left, pero you saw on that occasion, he was going right. He still hasn't developed that finish with the right hand, but because he's so strong and absorbing contact, he's able to finish on the right side despite it with the left hand.
We go back with AJ Miranda on the post-up. No basket. Rebound, Marquis. That's rebound number 8 for Marquis now. Another 5 minutes in the second. Eric Acuña to Rocky Asidre. Watch out for that guy. He already has a Best Player of the Game award for BACOOR in the season. Soriano with a good save. Carl gets the ball back. 2-pointer. No good. Marquis with a rebound. No putback. Oh, he
Could have
got
been
hit.
fouled there, yeah.
Kabila. AJ Miranda. To the post. Paulo Hubalde against Carl Soriano. Oh, nice veteran move.
The rip through right there para kay Paulo Hubalde, taking the young buck to school, getting it on the left corner, on the right corner rather, and then trying to see if he could back him down, but then suddenly decided to face up, felt that Soriano had a hand near his shooting pocket and decided to go for that rip through, drawing the foul. Just unfortunately unable to hit the first free throw.
You know, I have to be honest with you, Javi. Coming into Batangas today, I wanted to see a Paulo Hubalde versus James Kwekute matchup, with Paulo trying to post up against James, if he would even dare to do that.
Well, you know, I wouldn't deny that fact na kaya niyang gawin yun. Paulo has always been very competitive going up against the young guys here in the league.
This there for BACOOR, and here comes Mindoro. AJ Miranda on the drive, and he got fouled.
He just really has that uncanny ability of getting contact. It's because of the speed, and despite him being so fast, he seems to be always in control. But one thing that he has to fix in his game is his free throw shooting. Mapapansin mo dito, there's a little bit of hitch in the shot that he takes from the charity stripe. Coach Louie already pointed this out. Hindi masyadong naging one motion yung bitaw niya.
Let's examine it.
May konting bump eh. You see he bends his knees and then after that pumps once again before even releasing that shot.
Well, one thing's for sure, we can't deny that from Coach Louis Gonzalez. And we also can't deny this report coming from Andrea Endicio.
Coach Alex Angeles shared to me their word of the week, and that is the word kaizen, a compound of two Japanese words which means good change or continuous improvement. Yan daw ang ini-instill na ngayon sa mga players niya. Kahit na solo nila ngayon ang #1 spot sa Southern Division, alam naman nating no coach is ever satisfied, and so Coach Alex aims to level up their game even more. With the playoffs just around the corner, seems like the goal is clear para sa strikers, that there is no other way but up. Back to you guys.
Is that supposed to be a Japanese word?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is, no?
That's what he mentioned.
And isn't that the name of the Muntinlupa manager?
Kaiser naman.
Kaiser naman yun.
Yung pangalan ng manager ng Muntinlupa, Kaiser.
Akala ko maganda yung meaning ng pangalan niya. Hindi pala. Pero in fairness kay Andrea, first time ko makarinig ng Japanese word sa MPBL broadcast.
That's
Great
very
job.
true, yeah.
See what happened there? Kung nabigyan ng marquee. Si Ken Osigos ba yun? May braces pa yan, Si Ken, that's not gonna help him out.
It's not very fun to get hit in the mouth. More so with braces. Masakit talaga yan.
Kahit na light lang no?
Oo, sigurado magkakasingaw ka after that eh.
Oh, what I hate even more is when your bracket gets loose.
Yes.
Kasi papalik ka sa dentista
wala kang choice.
Marquee from the stripe. That is good. It's now 45-24. Under 3 minutes and 35 remaining before halftime. Miranda to Tate. Nice fake. Gave that ball back. A-Gem. Did he travel? Ooh! A lot of physicality inside. So, we saw Canyal, we saw Marquee going up against Tristan Hernandez. A lot of guts from the young man.
Boy, it's not every time that you see someone like Tristan Hernandez getting into something with Marquee. A lot of people here in the league really revere Marquee for his stature, for what he has achieved. Look at that. Kanyal.
Nadamay lang si Marquee.
Trying to blow away ito si Tristan Hernandez on that box out.
Wow. That's one heck of a box out right there.
Napunta lang kasi yung braso niya doon. Kasi na-push ni Kanyal. Doon kasi papunta yung direksyon kay Marquee. Nagkataon lang na nandun siya.
May stare down agad mula kay Kuya Mark. But that box out was something else.
It's a
It was
double
above the
foul
shoulder.
between number 25, Miles Canyal, is second, and number 24, Tristan Hernandez, his first foul.
Just a double foul.
Yeah. I thought that it was something that was going to be a little bit drastic between these two players. Pero when we saw the replay, just, very intense box out match between these two big men.
Let's go back. Baseline inbound for AJ Miranda. Ball tapped away by Eric Acuna. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 3 and 23 remaining before halftime. Here's Paulo Hubalde. Screen by Ken Osigos. Rescreen. Paulo will fire. That's good.
Yeah, just a pity that Paulo Hubalde came into this squad a little bit more than midway into this season para sa Mindoro. Imagine if he started this season para sa kanila, he would have gotten into game shape much sooner.
And I would actually argue as well that he could have been a part of the recruitment process of Mindoro a lot earlier. He could have gotten more reinforcements to add to the roster midway through the season.
That's correct. You saw there that outside shot had a foot on the line, so that's only going to be a 2-pointer para sa Mindoro.
Mintis ang unang free throw ni Carl Soriano. Here's Coach Alex Angeles with his ever so cool hair. Soriano, second one is good. Yan ang best friend ni Aaron Hiruta. Siya yung nakasiko. Kaya nabasag yung ilong ni Aaron. Pero okay naman sila dahil hindi naman daw sinasadya. It was a one-on-one drill during their practice that shattered the nose of Aaron. 46-26. Tay against Rocky Asidre. Nice pass to the corner. Osicos leans in and he misses.
Osicos' shot has always been very sharp, so kind of have to have more arc on that.
You know, I have to say, that's ironic for an engineer. Because as a physics major, you need trajectory as one of your masteries. And that's not present in his shot.
And believe me, guys, Mix Gomez is speaking from experience because he is an engineer himself.
Tay Teodoro for 3.
I was saying already earlier that outside shooting para sa Mindoro would be very key for them to make a comeback here. And Teodoro's three-pointer could spark a run here to end the first half well para sa Disciplinados.
46-29, under 2 minutes. Carl Soriano up top against Tay Teodoro. What a push that was! Napakahalata naman yun mula kay Cristan.
And Coach Buds Reyes, pati siya natawa dun sa sideline eh. You see here is the setup, simple drive and draw action there for Mindoro Disciplinados. Miranda attacking middle, drawing the defense and kicking it out to their shooter, Tay Teodoro.
Mindoro does average 3.1 3-point makes per game at a 39% efficiency from downtown for Tay this season. 46-29. Folks, for a premium experience and an exceptional stay, we would like to invite you to Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. And might as well look for Sir Robert Kai, who is a passionate fan as well of our league. Shout out to you, Boss Robert. And shout out to all of our MPBL fans watching right now. This is Mix Gomez alongside Javi Palanya and Andrea Endicio. We are in Batangas for Mindoro versus BACOOR, followed by Sarangani versus Imos. The Negros will take on Batangas City in our main event. Kanyal just scored his first 2 points in this game and most likely of his season as well. Let's check that. Yes, that's right. That's the first 2 points. The first 2 MPBL points for Miles Kanyal. Tay with a tough 3, short. One-handed rebound, signature marquee. That's his 11th board already.
Well, going back to Miles Kanyal, he's been making a good account of himself so far here, getting extended minutes in the second quarter.
He's been very physical, no?
Yeah, he's really been standing up to the bigs of this Mindoro squad.
To the point
to give an inch.
Yeah, at to the point na naiinis na si Cristal Hernandez sa kanya. Even giving up some, shall we say, a lot more physical fouls.
That just goes to show that he's been doing a good job.
See what happened here. An offensive foul against Marquis. Ayun, bumunggo kay Ken Osicos. Masakit yun, ha?
Ang tulis doon.
Alam mo na kailang tumban na rin itong si Ken Osicos sa game na to.
There actually have been a lot of bodies decking here on our hardwood dito sa ating first half. From both squads, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, we just saw John Cañete check in. Does he look to be related to Mike Cañete? Paulo Valdez course?
He looks like he's related. Siguro magkapatid tong mga to.
Oh, now I'm pretty sure na magkamag-anak yan dahil binibidyohan ngayon ni Mike si John on the floor.
There's a striking resemblance between him and Mike.
Kanyal could not score inside. Well, John Cañete is registered as an SGL. So bata pa siya. As Tay fires and misses. Rebound to Eric Acuña. The veteran to the right side, Rocky Asidre. The hezi and the pull-up for Rocky. That's good.
You know, it's really very nice to see Rocky Isidre exuding a lot of passion when he plays well on the floor kasi paminsan-minsan na nga lang siya nakakalaro para sa BACOOR this season, and that's why he makes the most out of every opportunity given to him.
And we definitely saw that passion in the previous sequence. 9 seconds to go here. 50-31, Hubalde sizing up John Cañete. There's the step back. Just a bit too strong. There was a foul before the buzzer sounded.
It definitely has been a very highly charged physical encounter between these two squads. A lot of contact, especially on box-out situations for both teams.
And so, he will have free throws for Carl Soriano to end the first half with 0.5 remaining. I can't stop staring at John Cañete, and yes, the resemblance is now too obvious for us to not even notice.
Yeah, I'm almost pretty sure they're brothers.
And referees will be reviewing the previous sequence. Could be about the time as well.
No, I think they're double checking kung sino talaga natawagan ng foul doon.
So it's on Ken Osicos. He's had a long afternoon so far, by the way. Ken Osicos. There's the box out.
Well, there's not much bigs right now on the lineup today para sa Mindoro Disciplinados. That's why Ken Osicos has had to work double time here, as well as Cristian Hernandez.
Mention nga ni Andre, wala si John Baltazar. Has been a staple at that power forward position, working with Cristian Hernandez. 0.5 tenths of a second remaining. Let's see what prayer Mindoro can pull off here. There's the forward pass. Isidre tried to get the steal, and he almost pulled it off. And so that will do it for our first 20 minutes of play. BACOOR up big, 52-31.
Another great defensive showcase for the BACOOR City Strikers here in the first half. Although the Disciplinados were able to get 31 points, still a great showing in this game so far for the number one team in this Southern Division.
Now let's talk about the MPBL's Player of the Week, Mr. Ives Sazon. What can you say about him?
Ives Sazon trying to get back into his old form here for the Bataan Risers. He's been missing their past few games, but these two matches have really been crucial for them as they try to break into our playoff picture in the Northern Division. Glad to see him getting his confidence back, knocking down those perimeter jumpers, outside shots, and even getting to the basket. Very crucial for the Bataan Risers.
I have to say this to give credit to Ives Sazon. If not for Dom Vera celebrating his birthday in that matchup against Iloilo, he would have gotten the Best Player of the Game award.
He was the top scorer in that game, right?
Yes, he was. And he was the best player versus Marikina.
That's correct.
His former
His
team.
former squad.
And so, we are at halftime. BACOOR is up by 21.
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahanap. Sports ang lagi
Back here at the Batangas City Coliseum for your OKBet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Andrea Endicia, covering the sidelines for this ball game. And right now we will be having our halftime interview together with Sir Justin Dada, the team manager of the Mindoro Disciplinados. Thank you, Sir Justin, for joining me again here at the half. Sir Justin, kanina, Coach Buds Reyes made a statement that tickled the excitement of the MPBL fans, especially our Mindoro fans. Sabi niya, as early as now, you guys are planning for a big comeback ng Mindoro Disciplinados for next season. Can you tell us more about that, Sir Justin?
Siyempre, sinabi na pala ni Coach Buds So, kailangan din namin, so banggitin lang namin. So, through the leadership pa rin ng aming team owner, ang gusto niya for next season is i-retain pa rin yung team and mag-add ng mga high-profile na names. Hopefully, after the season, makausap namin sila and makapag-commit sila. Siyempre, si Paulo Hubalde, nag-commit na siya for next season. So, malaking boost yun para sa recruitment namin for next season.
Very, very exciting. Ngayon naman, Sir Justin, meron ka bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan? Go ahead.
So, siyempre, yung aming team owner, si Mayor Jennifer Cruz, ang mga Mindoreños namin na fans, si Mr. Seke ng Mayor Paints, si Sir Gian ng Manila Kingpin South, and siyempre gusto din namin pasalamatan yung dalawang SGL namin na last game na nila ngayon. Siyempre si Marvel Jimenez na Our Lady of Fatima University. Maraming salamat po kay Coach Ralph Rivera na pagpapahiram po sa amin. And siyempre sa alma mater ko, sa Jose Rizal University, para naman kay AJ Miranda, kay Sir Vincent Pabella, kay Sir Paul Supan, and siyempre kay Coach Louie Gonzalez.
Thank you so much. A very short but a very exciting halftime interview. Mga kaliga, wag po kayong aalis. Magbabalik pa ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag-3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kubunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag-3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas.
We're back inside the Batangas City Coliseum. The score reads 52-31 for the BACOOR City Strikers against the Mindoro Disciplinados. It's been actually straightforward in this game as we get to see the statistics as well. Nothing too complicated for the Strikers.
Well, once again, the Strikers proving that they're the best defensive team in the league, limiting Mindoro to only 31 points in that first half, although they were able to still finish the first half at 37%, but you could really see the dominating factor by the BACOOR City Strikers in this game without some of their key players, but a lot of the other guys have been performing well. You could see Crania Veloria coming off the bench to score a couple of baskets, and they have Kanyal coming in here for the first time, making a good account of himself, not really putting in the significant numbers on the box scores, but he has been giving a lot of physicality and a lot of good presence inside the shaded area. Guys like Joel Liu have been hitting shots from the outside. They dominated the boards 27-15. Total team effort once again 14-8, and as you can see 23-8 in terms of bench points.
All 15 players have scored, have played for the BACOOR City Strikers. 11 of those 15 have scored already for Coach Alex Angeles. And as mentioned by Andrea, the word of the day is Kaizen. Tama ba yun, Javi?
Kaizen,
the
yes,
Japanese word that means continuous improvement for their team. And there you see the continuous improvement by Jan Nermal as well, who is looking at Javi Palanya right now with a smile. He has 9 points. Chito Jaime has 7. Alvin Alday with 7. And Jammer Hamito has 6 points. Kabila naman for Paulo Hubalde and company. He leads the way with 10 points for Mindoro. And they also have Tristan Hernandez with 6. AJ Miranda on his last game for Mindoro with 5 points. And Tete Teodoro has 3. We begin the second half here in Batangas. This is Mix Gomez alongside Javi Balanya and Andrea Indicio. Miss inside by Jammer Hamito, who begins the third quarter with Alwin Alday, Aaron Hiruta, Jan Dermal, and Marquis.
And that's a good thing here for Mindoro to start the second half with the defensive stop. Let's see if they will have things coming for them differently in terms of their offensive sets. Not really the ideal shot to open up their offensive possession here in the third quarter para sa Mindoro Disciplinados. You would want something going inside, especially with Angel Miranda handling that basketball. Got a double high screen set on that sequence. Could have just attacked the basket as there was a lane going inside the shaded area.
Good thing for Mindoro was the hard work of Tristan Hernandez. That will earn them the possession here. Off of the baseline inbound, Tete, sharp shooting three-pointer. That's good from the corner.
Good setup right there from the baseline inbound para sa Mindoro Disciplinados. Locating Tete Teodoro. Once again, just as I have been mentioning in the first half, outside shooting will be very key here for Mindoro if they want to make a comeback and make this competitive.
Tete is now 2 out of 7 from downtown. He does average 3 3-point makes per game. It's 52-34. Minute gone by in the third. AJ Miranda against Jan Dermal. Now they go to the Aquaman against Aaron Hiruta. Pinapalabas, Tete Teodoro. Back-to-back three-pointers.
Outside shooting and of course defensive stops para sa Mindoro Disciplinados. So far, those two aspects have been working well para sa kanilang koponan here to begin the third quarter.
That's 4 total threes now in this game for Mindoro out of 14 tries. It matches the 3-point makes of BACOOR. Almost a steal by Paulo Hubalde. Ball recovered by Aaron Hiruta. Numbers here for BACOOR. 4 on the shot clock. Alwin Alday for 3. No answer. Rebound Marquis. Jammer Hamito's turn. Oh, that's off the glass and in.
Kind of bit of a heartbreaker right there para sa Mindoro. You had the guy, Jammer Hamito, taking that 3-point shot. The guy that you really wanted to shoot from the outside if you were Mindoro, but the bank opened para kay Jammer Hamito on that try. Kaya lang Tete Teodoro has been continuing to wax hot here for the Disciplinados to open up the third.
That's 3 3-pointers out of the 4 total for Tete in the third frame. He's up to 12 points. Jammer Hamito, how about that? It's Tete Teodoro versus Jammer Hamito in a 3-point contest.
Very unlikely showdown in terms of shooting the 3 ball here in the third quarter. Jammer Hamito increased confidence after getting the first one off the bank. And an offensive foul committed.
Great recognition by Aaron Hiruta, who knew that Mindoro was trying to go to Tete Teodoro again after he just hit 3 straight 3-pointers. And here's the answer by Jammer Hamito, who ironically has been known for being a part of the PBA Slam Dunk Contest before because of that patented sidestep dunk of his. Now he shows off with his 3-point shooting skills. Jammer Hamito now trying to post up. Jammer, that's his favorite angle. No basket. Marquis on the follow.
Unlike the past 2 possessions where Mindoro was able to force BACOOR into getting a shot from the outside, this time the strikers go to their strong aspect inside the paint and they get it to their big men. Jammer Hamito backing down his defender, but Marquis getting the offensive rebound.
Just couldn't complete the 3-point play was Marquis, but the lead is 20 for BACOOR, 60-40. Over 3 minutes gone by in the third frame. AJ Miranda, screen up top. Switch. AJ is now facing the reigning defensive player of the year. Miranda with a step back. That's too strong. BACOOR's on the run. Aaron Hiruta, 1-2, and the layup.
Excellent decision making right there by the point guard. Aaron Heruta saw that the defense was trying to anticipate the pass, deciding to fake it out and go for that finger roll. You see there Mindoro and Miranda trying to block the way to the pass para kay Alvin Alday and Marky on opposite sides and deciding to go for that finger roll for two.
Aaron Heruta, with his picture without the mask, had 14 points and 6 rebounds with 2 assists versus the Quezon Huskers. He was the best player back home as they only limited Quezon to the season low of 43 points, tying the output of Quezon City in the season.
The last time Aaron Heruta scored in double figures this season para sa BACOOR City Strikers was way back in March. That was where he had the season high 19 points. So that was the second time only this season where he got into double figures. Today's game, not really that much scoring yet para kay Aaron Heruta, but he does have 6 assists already.
Aaron Heruta is facing his former teammate Paulo Hubalde, who taught him about forward passes. There you go, right on cue. Alvin Alday bumps into the Aquaman, and that's a blocking foul. By the way, that's why he's called, or that's one of the reasons why he's called the Aquaman, because he's often found on the floor in basketball, diving for loose balls, drawing charges. Itong si Kuya Paulo Hubalde.
Pala nanggaling yun?
Well, it makes sense with that, and
I thought it was because of the hair.
actually yung hair ngayon nga lang yan eh. Pero paiba-iba na rin kasi. The tattoos help him out as well. Kasi yung actor ng Aquaman, di ba, matattoo yun? I forget his name, but obviously there's some resemblance. Alvin Alday is fouled inside.
Well, now it seems that the Strikers don't want to settle for that outside shot. Past couple of possessions, they've been deciding to put the ball on the deck and attack the basket. The lack of interior defense for the Disciplinados has made it easy for BACOOR to get points inside the paint.
We're seeing a new player here for Mindoro. That's Joshua Montero as Alvin Alday proceeds to the stripe. 14 out of 18 now are the Strikers from the line. They did make their first 6 from the stripe in the first quarter. 7 points, 2 assists for Alvin Alday, who has to be one of the best MPBL stories that we have in this league. Again, this was a guy who was a nobody when he started his MPBL career, but because of his emergence playing for Quezon City back in Season 2, a team that was able to eliminate the higher-seeded Makati Super Crunch in the playoffs, that earned him obviously a lot of respect. He got recruited by the Bicol Volcanoes and he starred alongside Ron J. Buenafe before transferring to Bacolod and BACOOR. There's a charge now. Oh, now there's a technical foul. It was quite a very synchronized reaction, by the way, from the Mindoro players.
Let's see what happened here. You see Osicos trying to set a pick for Baigan on that baseline. And then Nermal crashing into him. That's why Mindoro was arguing that the foul should have gone the other way.
I wonder what Joshua Montero did or said as well that warranted the technical foul. As Alvin Alday proceeds to the line again. Iba talaga yung shooting form niya, no? It's very unconventional.
Definitely, but you know, that's what works for him, and that's how he's been able to catapult himself as one of the best scorers in the league all time.
You know, I actually want to get into the mind of a shooting coach. Kasi meron din mga NBA players na mapakialam mo yung shooting form and then mag-i-improve as Jammer Hamita scores inside. Meron din namang mga shooting coach na at first glance pa lang, alam nila na hindi nila pwedeng galawin yan. So let's hope that one day we can talk to a shooting coach.
There's another whistle blown here on the front court of Mindoro, but this time it's going to go against the BACOOR City Strikers. It's John Elmal being called for that personal.
Sideline inbound. Here's Paolo Ubalde, met by Aaron Heruta. Pinapalabas si Rodel Vaigan. There's the screen, 6 on the shot clock. Paolo looks up. He goes right. There's the pull-up. Tough shot, but he made it look so easy.
Past few games have been really very productive para dito kay Paolo Ubalde. At nakikita mo bumabalik na talaga yung kanyang scoring touch. As you see there, he's more confident taking those difficult jumpers.
Tate Teodoro will return for Rodel Vaigan. And you did mention, and as Andrea mentioned as well in the first half, the progress for Mindoro is going to be very interesting in the next season. First, we can't help but wonder if they're going to keep Paolo Ubalde. Second, what type of reinforcements will they be able to get to aid Paolo? Because much like the argument for Marquis, you surround him with a lot of great role players, even some stars. Ubalde might just be able to carry a team to a championship.
And we all know the capability of Paolo Ubalde to share the wealth with his teammates, even if he has the rock in his hands most of the time. We've seen it before in the past here in the league, how he's been able to make his teammates look good as well as also get points on the board. So definitely, to your point, Mix, that could very well be a good plan para sa Mindoro moving forward. But to validate what you just said, Paolo has already said on record that he will be playing for Mindoro next season.
Nice. There you go. Step 1 already done for Mindoro. But what is step number 2? As Teodoro misfired, and here comes Jammer Hamito playing point guard, going all the way for 2.
I was expecting a slam, honestly, as he tried to go up for those 2 points. Yung buwelo niya, kala ko, idadaktak niya na eh.
That could have been a poster as well. Inside scoring natin 26-8 in favor of BACOOR.
Oh, we did not expect the less coming from the Strikers here today, as they do have the obvious height advantage, and also in terms of depth, we see here Hamito bringing the ball all the way and finishing with the offhand. That's the right hand finish para kay Jammer Hamito.
Do you remember that sidestep dunk? Did he finish with the right hand?
Hindi ko na maalala, pero that really has been the trademark that he established in those slam dunk competitions in the PBA.
Okay, Javi, can you continue with the play-by-play? I'm gonna just go to YouTube for a while here.
Alright, so Ubalde will be at the line here for 2 free throws. He continues to lead the Disciplinados with 12 points together with Tate Teodoro. And Paolo really has been having renewed energy in terms of trying to score points para sa Mindoro their past few games. There you go, you see the free throw story on your screens. A lot more conversions and makes at the line for the Strikers. 15 out of 20 as opposed to 5 out of 7 now for Mindoro.
Well, thank you, Javi. Now I have confirmation. He did use his right hand. Itong si Jammer Hamito with that patented Euro step dunk that he did in the PBA. 67-44. Under 4 minutes in the third frame. Alvin Alday misses. Rebound Ken Osicos. And here comes Paolo Ubalde. Pass to the left. Tate will fire. Short. Osicos recovers. Ball tapped away. Ooh, that was won by Tate Teodoro.
Definitely last touch right there on Aaron Heruta. Tate was able to tap it to the hand of Heruta that made a referee call that out of bounds play in favor of Mindoro.
That made Aaron Heruta remove his mask because now Joel Liu and Jimboy Pastoran are on the court. Ken Osicos, mid-range is good.
That's been a shot that he's been known for to make time and time again, especially last season where he got a lot more playing time, of course, syempre because of the lack of players that they had.
Well, he got the ceiling of playing times. He was playing 40 minutes a game for Mindoro as Chito Jaime scores inside.
Because of the added players in their roster, especially at this position, and with the emergence of John Baltazar, he's been getting spot minutes this season for the Disciplinados.
And I have to say as well, iba rin talaga yung challenge ni Ken Osicos kasi bossing yan eh. Hindi hindi lang engineer yan, bossing yan ng mga engineer. Kaya naman, I can imagine just how hard it is to keep his conditioning at a peak level. But it is also a testament to his passion as Mindoro now runs. Tay will go to Hubalde. They had numbers for a while, and there you go. Nice pass by Paolo onto Kenosicos.
5th assist in the game para kay Paolo Hubalde. His vision has always been exemplary. We've always known Paolo Hubalde to be very consistent in getting double digits in assists in the past seasons.
There's a pushing foul, the previous defensive play for Tay Teodoro and company. I hate to say this, but Tay Teodoro is #1 in the league in fouls per game at 3.3. And we present to you this exceptional pass of the game, brought to you by Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. We knew that Paolo was just trying to delay everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean,
drag them onto the right.
You could see that everybody was ball watching there, and when you do that against a guy like Paolo Hubalde, he sees the floor very well. Spotting Kenosicos right away, Jammer Hamito was the one who was supposed to cover Osicos on that defensive possession.
Grenier Veloria hits from the line, and there you see some happy BACOOR City fans. Couple more BACOOR VIPs watching online. We have Mayor Strike Revilla, Dennis Abelia, and Bobby Bautista. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. And we hope that you are enjoying this 23-point lead of yours against Mindoro. 71-48. Hubalde bounces inside. Hernandez will go back to the Aquaman. Pull up off to the right. And here comes Joel Liu on the drive and kick. They go to Chito Jaime from the corner. In and out and in for Chito Jaime.
Chito Jaime, after battling a lot of injuries, definitely playing much better right now. And good to see that he's been getting the minutes that, despite the depth of this roster of the BACOOR City Strikers, he's been able to contribute significant numbers still.
There's a three-pointer by Chito Jaime in the inaugural season of our league that happened, or that actually featured the final series here in Batangas City. Chito Jaime represented Muntinlupa to face the Batangas City Tanduay Athletics. They eventually lost in 5 games. Actually, that was in 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, what a series that was. The jumpstart ng Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. 73-49. 80 seconds remaining in the third. Veloria drives and kicks. Lopez, Joel Liu for 3. In and out. Rebound Jaime. Put back. Bit too strong. Ball tapped away in favor of BACOOR.
Well, if you're Mindoro, you really have to work double time in securing those defensive rebounds. You see how aggressive the strikers are in trying to crash that offensive glass, knowing that they do have the height advantage.
No basket here for BACOOR, and here's Tay on the run. Teodoro surveys and passes on to Paolo Hubalde. Up top, ISO against Joel Liu. Lefty versus lefty. Hubalde sizing up Joel. Kick out. Montero will fake and drive. Bounce pass. Hernandez will finish.
Rare error on the defensive possession right there for the BACOOR City Strikers. That was another simple play, a baseline drive by Joshua Montero, and going into the wheeling Christian Hernandez underneath for those 2 points.
73-51. Kick out. Veloria from the mid-range. That's his favorite. Just no good. 4-second differential. Paolo Hubalde, as usual, will slow things down. Coach Buds Reyes calling the action at the sideline. And there's an unspo. Hernandez has been going at it with multiple big men of BACOOR. And even Chito Jaime is agitated.
I think it was Chito Jaime who actually delivered the first blow.
By the way, Decoy Lopez and Chito Jaime have been teammates for years now. Last year, they both played for the South Division champions in Zamboanga. Yun, nagsimula na dun. There you go.
But Decoy Lopez also delivering a hit before Chito Jaime actually was called for that unsportsmanlike foul. But, you know, it's been brewing this whole game, Christian Hernandez going up against the different bigs of the Bacoor City Strikers. And somehow you also have to understand the pressure for Christian Hernandez in trying to deal with these guys.
Well, you have been talking about the lack of big men for Mindoro. Who's the other guy? Yung malaki? Oh, you know this guy. We know this guy. He's one of my favorites. He's like the biggest teddy bear of Mindoro. Steven Codal.
Ayun, tama.
Ayun, si Steven. Shout out to you, Mr. Codal, wherever you may be. Usually siya yung backup ni Cristan. At wala nga rin si Jan Baltazar.
Yeah, but the upside for a guy like Hernandez this season is for him to get all these minutes. It just fast tracks his development here in the league. And that may just cement his spot in this roster for Mindoro. At alam mo naman, when you're a player who's starting, you want to get as much opportunities as you can, and he has definitely been making the most out of it, especially backed by the encouragement of management plus the optimism that Coach Buds Reyes continues to deliver for his team. It has really been helping Hernandez a lot. He's been very active defensively, getting those rebounds, and also scoring when he can underneath para sa kanilang opponent. So that's definitely going to be a positive going into next season for Mindoro and for Christian Hernandez on a personal level.
Christian does attribute a lot of his success to Paulo Hubalde as well, who has been giving him that basketball inside for easy looks. I'm sure napansin mo rin yun, Javi, no? Pagpasok ni Paulo, dumali yung buhay ni Christian.
Indeed. You know, because Ajem and Sherwin in the first half of the season for Mindoro, it was just really the two of them sharing the scoring load, and they always look to attack the basket, sometimes setting up their teammates. But you know how Paulo Hubalde has always been a pass-first kind of guy compared to guys
Upon
like
review,
Ajem and Sherwin.
Unsportsmanlike foul on number 28, Chito Jaime, his first. It is a double technical foul between number 19, Decoy Lopez, his fourth, and number 24, Christian Hernandez, also his fourth foul.
Okay, so a double tech on Lopez and Hernandez and an unspo on Chito Jaime. That makes sense naman, no? Obviously, Chito had that elbow onto the body of Christian Hernandez.
Yeah, but the bad thing for Mindoro is that's already the fourth against Hernandez. Also the fourth on Decoy Lopez, but that just really doesn't matter compared to how Hernandez is valuable to the Mindoro Disciplinados. Bacoor has a lot of big men to replace Lopez even if he fouls out of this game.
It's going to be interesting as to whether or not Paulo Hubalde will be sliding down to the 4 again, as he talked about in the previous game for Mindoro versus Pampanga. Here's Paulo calling out the play. They're trying to set up Tay to no avail. 8 on the shot clock, 10 on the game clock. Paulo uses the pick to the right. Hubalde in trouble. The kick out. Teodoro will fire in and out. Ooh, the ball is live. And Viloria will try to finish the play. Boy, that could have been one of the best highlights for Bacoor in the season.
The strikers were not aware that there was still time left on that game clock. Could have itched closer for a better shot. But good line on that heave.
Right. It was a bit of an alley-oop for Cranial Viloria, who caught the ball mid-air and shot it immediately. But now let's talk about Jammer Hamito, who before he gave us that coast-to-coast layup, he caught fire shooting from downtown.
10 points in the third quarter alone para kay Jammer Hamito. It really all started with those 2 3-pointers to begin. One off the glass and this one from straight away, engaging Tay-Tay Teodoro in a shootout in what could have been a good start for the Disciplinados, but it was Jammer Hamito who played the role of fireman to quash that rally for Mindoro.
The score after 3 is 73-52. And there you see Commissioner Kenneth Durendes looking kingly at the sideline, alongside, of course, head of basketball operations, Emer Oreta, with Rudy Distrito and Satar Macantal. I hope that's even a word. I just used this to describe itong si Commissioner Kenneth Durendes. Great to have him as always. Happy ang ating quarter scoring.
You see there, BACOOR winning the first quarter, but Mindoro actually getting that second quarter over BACOOR just by 1 point, 20-21. But the strikers in the Disciplinados getting 21 points each in that third period. Could have been a good quarter para sa Mindoro offensively, but the strikers able to knock down those 2 3-pointers by Jammer Hamito that actually started that offensive rally for them to prevent the comeback for Mindoro.
Okay na sana, no? Yung buwelo ni Tite Teodoro, as we just saw 2 points coming in from McDonald Santos. Great recovery for him inside.
Another good start to the quarter here for the Mindoro Disciplinados, and that's why Coach Alex Angeles taking an early timeout here. Osicos, wonderful pull-up right there, free throw jumper from the engineer, and Hubalde able to recover that rock. Actually, it was Wacto Santos who got that basketball on that drive by Paulo Hubalde. 4 straight points to start our fourth quarter here for Mindoro, 73-56.
See the next 3 games for Coach Alex Angeles. Paganda ng paganda. They will take on Negros on September 13. That's after the FIBA World Cup break. And then Bataan in Bataan before our All-Star game. And then the last game will be back home in BACOOR to take on the reigning South Division champions, the Zamboanga Families Brand Sardines.
Well, still an important set of games para sa strikers. As we mentioned at the top of our coverage, it's important for the teams in the top of their respective divisions, especially those in the top 4, to get victories in the remaining games to secure home court advantage in the playoffs. And for BACOOR, they would want to get home court advantage, being the #1 team for at least the whole of the Southern Division playoffs.
And what a way for them to end the season, going up against Zamboanga, the Kings last year at the South. Ooh, that's a turnover. Coach Bud's laughing it off with Paulo Hubalde. Ball was supposed to go to Wacto Santos.
It's just really great to see Coach Buds Reyes have this kind of banter with his players. He knows that what they want now is not really more of the wins, but to see the progress for their players moving forward, and for them to be able to develop good chemistry heading into next season.
Just saw a foul in the previous sequence leading to this possession for Coach Buds in Mindoro, but before that, he'll have a timeout with 8 minutes and 32 remaining. The score reads 73-56. There you see the last 3 games of the Mindoro Disciplinados. They will visit the Imo Sports Complex to take on the SB squad. And then they will take on QC on September 26 and Valenzuela on September 29. By the way, folks, stay tuned for our announcements regarding Val City hosting before they end their 5th season campaign, because there is a big possibility that they will have home court advantage at some point, at least to end the season. Right now it is Mindoro versus BACOOR, with the strikers playing zone. 10 on the shot clock. Paulo Hubalde. The kick out Miranda catches in drive, speed at the last second, and Macdos Santos scores inside.
That's how you attack the zone. You go to the gaps and see which other player will be open to get into the seams. And that time, another good drive and draw para dito sa Mindoro Disciplinados, courtesy of AJ Miranda, making it possible for Macdos Santos.
73-58. Mindoro still trying to pull off a comeback here. The pass to Decoy Lopez, and the birthday celebrant scores inside.
Just a late rotation right there defensively para sa Mindoro. That they could have prevented that pass inside to Decoy Lopez, but Santos was just a tad bit too late.
75-58 now. Paulo Hubalde driving right. Tries to bump his way through. Almost a turnover. Osicos recovers. No basket. And here comes Jimboy. Pastoran with a cross-court pass, and that's a foul on Rodel Vaigan.
Transition play right there para sa Bacoor City Strikers. Definitely a very good decision right there for Joel Liu to not settle for the outside shot, even if he's been able to hit one in that first half. That step back three, that highlight. I think it was also against Rodel Vaigan, am I right?
We're gonna have to check that. Paulo Balde will now take a breather. Paso dito si Tete Teodoro. Jimboy Pastoran from the corner. No good. Rebound Marquis. He goes reverse. And he was fouled.
That's already 15 rebounds in the game para dito kay Marquis. Still an unstoppable force on the glass. And looking at Marquis, his performance throughout his career, you could definitely say, and he proves that rebounding is not all about athleticism. It's not all about jumping high. It's all, actually, he makes rebounding seem like an art, just like how Dennis Rodman did it in the NBA.
Well, I remember when I was a courtside reporter in the MPBL, and yes, that happened. Yeah, back in season 2 when Davao featured Marquis as Jammer Hamito scores inside. I asked Marquis what makes him so effective as a rebounder, and he told me about positioning. No? There's a certain angle for each shot on the court that you can position yourself onto so that you can have the best percentage to grab the rebound. Of course, we can't explain it on air. If you have time, do visit our MPBL games at i-corner ninyo si Marquis para maturuan kayo sa mga anggulo na yan. 78-60. And the leaner is good for Jimboy Pastoran.
That's the first points in the ball game para kay Jimboy Pastoran.
Jimboy, by the way, has been cast a ton of times already in this season to start for them, no? For some big games. Fluctuating yung role niya, no? Minsan, onti lang yung minuto. Minsan, siya yung main point guard. But that's also because of some injuries to their point guards. Ivan Ludovice has been out for quite a while now. Aaron Hiruta, because of his broken nose, was out for a while.
And even one of the guys who just checked in, Eric Acuña.
Eric has been in the reserve list for the longest time. Ivan, by the way, as far as I remember, is going through a hamstring injury. And as we know, that can be very tricky. 80-60. AJ Miranda will fire. Way off. Hamito! Well, he was saved by the buzzer. But at the same time, that was a bit entertaining. Watching him trying to go for that ball while not stepping out of bounds.
Well, you could always expect that from Jammer Hamito. He's always been quite the showman.
That's right. You talked about his fashion sense in the previous outing that went along with his hair as Rocky Asidre scores in downtown. Oh, happy siya. Kabila, Rodel Vaigan answers back.
That's the first three-pointer since the first half para dito kay Rodel Vaigan.
Again, Vaigan is supposedly #1 in the league in three-point shooting percentage at 42%, making 2.8 per outing. Jimboy, catch and fire, high looper, short. Marquis grabbing yet another board. That's number 16 already for Mark. But apparently he stepped out of bounds. Tristan Hernandez will now take a breather. The 5 on the court for Mindoro are Macdo Santos, Ken Osicos, Leyte Teodoro, AJ Miranda, and Rodel Vaigan. As we take a look at that three-pointer, the second in this game for Rocky Asidre, and then the answer from Rodel Vaigan.
Oh, there's going to be a challenge here.
By the way, let me correct myself. That was the first three-pointer of Rocky Asidre. Kabila naman for Rodel Vaigan. Sorry, I'm doing the math. That's his second three-pointer. So the challenge was on the out-of-bounds play. Tama ba?
That's correct.
So this should be easy for our referees. Coach Bud's using this time to coach his players with 5 minutes and 23 remaining. At some point, it's not about winning anymore. It's about the building blocks that you can give to your players as you continue to rebuild your franchise in the MPBL.
And what's good about that is there really has been a lot more support coming from the Mindoro LGU, of course, led by their team owner, Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Kaya naman talagang enthusiasm ng disiplinados this season, and of course, looking forward to next year has been greatly improved.
Nakapag-host na nga rin sila in this season.
The challenge was unsuccessful.
The challenge was unsuccessful. You have to love that pause by Miguel Ferre, by the way, before he announced the word unsuccessful. See what happened here. Markey apparently stepped out of bounds.
Close call.
And even he is not convinced up until this moment. Let go na lang nila yan. They're up by 20. Under 5.5 minutes in the fourth. AJ Miranda against Eric Acuña. He's being joined by Rocky Asidre, Carl Soriano, Marquis, and Jammer Hamito. Here's Tete. Cash and fire. Short. Ball tapped and recovered by Carl Soriano. Could that have been an unspo? Do you remember where Carl Soriano played last year? Was he a part of Bacolod?
He was
Oo, no?
one of the role players para kay Coach Alex Angeles last year. And that's also one of the reasons why he brought him in as he transferred to BACOOR this season. And talking about guys like Carl Soriano, these guys who barely see action this season have actually been making a good account of themselves, playing with a lot of energy and effort, trying to make the most out of their opportunities.
I actually saw him before this game. I thought he was a big man because he's hefty. But seeing him play, he's obviously a guard. Or at least a wingman for BACOOR.
No, he has the speed despite the weight.
And that brings us back to the agility thing about BACOOR. I wonder if Andre already has an answer for us about that. Ready na siya. Antayin na lang natin ang cue ni Direk as a foul was called. Jammer Hamito now proceeds to the line. Free throw shooting 18 out of 24. Ilang percent yan, Javi?
Ako pa yung tinanong mo. Sino ba yung engineering major dito?
Well, I thought you could sum it up to lowest terms, but sige na, palipasin na natin. 18 out of 25 now. Yan, kaya mo na ba yun?
Ikaw na nga.
Oh, sige. Next play na tayo.
PE yung course ko nung college.
Kaya analyst ka dito sa
Yun na
MPBL.
nga.
So the younger brother of Mike Cañete checks in. That's John Cañete. And because of that, Mike Cañete has his phone up again. That's so cute, by the way. Sobrang kuya mode siya ngayon eh, no?
Oo. Very supportive talaga.
Sana hindi siya mawalan ng memory sa cellphone niya. At kanina pa siya naka-video as Miranda misses. Rebound to John Cañete.
It seems that the whole time that John Cañete is on the floor, Mike really videos the whole stretch.
Exactly. He's just waiting for his brother to score. Here it is, three-pointer. Off the glass and in! And now Mike Cañete can zoom in to his younger brother John after he made that three-pointer.
Yeah, I'm very sure if he wasn't too focused on getting a good angle on that video, siguro tumayo na yan at sumigaw.
Oh, he just celebrated right now, giving us a symbol for a three-pointer at the sideline. Answer from Mindoro. The score is now 87-65. Siguro naman kapatid niya yan, no? Papaya tayo kung pinsan niya pala yan. Mintis. And there's a foul inside.
I'm almost 90% sure that magkapatid sila.
Oo.
The resemblance is definitely uncanny. And you can see that he has somehow inherited the shooting touch, maybe.
Medyo slow motion din gumalaw eh.
Oo.
Just a bit. Itong si John. Just like his kuya. Ayan po si Kuya Mike Cañete, who is not a player today for BACOOR. He's only a family member for his younger brother John. And a teammate, of course, to the rest of the strikers. Ooh, what a three from Tay-Tay Teodoro.
And in the face, no problem. Tay-Tay Teodoro has made a living out of hitting shots like that throughout his career. Just like John Wilson, he releases that shot behind his head. And it's not ironic that both of them came from JRU.
Now that makes me question as to if they actually were taught by the same shooting coach.
Could be.
Medyo stretch yun.
Oh, pero malay mo.
How about their playing years? Magkalapit ba yun?
Halos magkalapit sila. I'm not very sure kung nag-abot sila, but they definitely are very close to each other.
Carl Soriano is at the stripe. He converts. Did mention he was a vital piece for Bacolod last year as one of their role players. Soriano off of the steal. No good, but there's John Cañete on the putback. Alam mo, itong kuya niya medyo hard to please. Kanina naka-video. After score, okay na. Palakpak na lang ngayon si Kuya Mike. That could have been another story, Mike.
That just goes back to my point earlier, how the guys who barely see action here for the strikers this season continue to play well here in this game.
There's the bonus. That's short for John Cañete. Again, he's listed as an SGL, so ganun pa siya kabata. And he's still not a pro. That usually means college pa siya.
Well, we gotta find out where he plays.
No good for Tay-Tay Teodoro. Ooh, nice hustle again. That's the second time that he has done something like that.
Well, I thought it was off his foot.
Well, Eric Acuña did not argue anymore off of that call. Here's Paulo Ubalde who escapes. No kick out recovery for Macdo Santos. Jimenez will fire. That's short. Rebound to BACOOR.
Well, Marvel Jimenez, I believe, has benefited from the departure of Sherwin Concepcion. He's gotten more minutes and he's gotten a lot more touches, proving that he could have a very good chance of being retained for next season's roster.
I hate to do this, but I can't help but wonder if Sherwin stayed with Mindoro, how effective could they be with Paulo Ubalde on board?
That could actually have made their lives a lot more easier. Imagine that, Paulo Ubalde running the show for them, Ajem and Sherwin just focusing on scoring. And we all know that in the first part of the season, when it was just Ajem and Sherwin, Ajem had to do a lot of the playmaking. But he did a fairly good job at it. He does have that ability to share the wealth with his teammates, but of course not as good yet as how Paulo Ubalde passes the ball to his teammates, and that vision by the Aquaman has been proven time and time again already.
Well, to your point, Ajem at some point in the season was #1 in the league in assists per game. Siyempre, bumaba na yun. He's now #5 because of the emergence of the Aquaman. And now it's Joshua Montero who emerges for Mindoro.
Good strong drive going to the basket para dito kay Joshua Montero. You see here turning in the corner, getting step on Earl Soriano, and then Canyal providing the challenge, but the adjustment in midair and getting the contact, letting Joshua Montero score those 2 points.
First one is good for Josh. Trying to be a spark plug here. 93-71 with 2 minutes and change remaining. You won't even feel that we're down to the last 2 minutes. Would you say that the intensity has remained the same?
Yeah, definitely. You know, despite Mindoro being down by a lot here, you could still see them trying to do their very best to play and keep in step with BACOOR. It's just that the strikers are just too deep, too strong, too good for a team like the Disciplinados right now. Down to the last man, and that's Canyal getting the offensive rebound and the stick back after his own miss.
Now we have seen 47 bench points in this game. That's almost half of the total of the BACOOR City Strikers. They're up 95-71. There you see Poy Poy Aktub getting a picture with the Batangas City fan. That's usually the case, by the way. Ganyan po sa Liga ng bawat Pilipino. Last year na witness natin yan kay Kit Jimenez. This year si Poy Poy naman, who has certainly proved to a lot of people that he is worthy of his roster spot with Imos. He has come a long way from those 7 dunks that he did against Bulacan. Nag-best player pa siya against Muntinlupa. Later on, he will be in action versus Sarangani. And after that, Batangas will defend its home court against the Negros Muscovados, who are fighting for survival in the South Division playoff race. No good on the 3-pointer was Andre Dada. Turnover.
Carl Soriano running a bit too wide right there for that pass angle to be received coming from Eric Acuña.
They really want Andre to score. Ball almost stolen away. Macdo Santos could not score. Minute and 10. This will be the 5th straight victory of the BACOOR City Strikers. Rocky Asidre in and out. Rebound, Canyal, no follow. And here comes Mindoro. They're down by 24. Paulo Hubalde will pass to the corner. Andre Dada for 3. That's good. And that felt like a game winner for Mindoro.
And of course, the proudest guy on that bench for Mindoro, his older brother, their team manager, Justin Dada.
Well, might as well take something like that before you exit this game. 36 seconds remaining. Rocky Asidre looks up. He has 6 seconds to work with. Eric Acuña will pull up from the mid-range. Too strong. Rebound Santos. And these will be the first 2 points of Kobe Camacho in this game.
9 assists already in the game para kay Paulo Hubalde. Well, you know, at least Mindoro, despite the loss, they've managed to still stay competitive despite it not being shown on the scoreboard. But to their capabilities, at least naipakita nila na they did their best.
And they're definitely in high spirits as they end this matchup. The final score is 95-76. Mindoro goes down to 4 wins and 21 losses. Baliktad naman para sa BACOOR. 21 wins and 4 losses for Jammer Hamito and company. That's 5 straight victories for the team of Coach Alex Angeles. Again, the word of the day is Kaizen as they continue to improve as the #1 seeded team in the South.
And our player of the game, Jammer Hamito, he really ignited that start in the third quarter para sa Bacoor City Strikers after Mindoro threatened to mount a comeback. He was the one who hit those 2 3-pointers to counter the rally, the personal rally of Tete Teodoro. 10 points in that third quarter to be able to prevent a run by the Disciplinados and eventually end up as their top scorer of the game.
Jammer Hamito, as stylish as he is, he's ready for his interview with Andrea Indicio.
First of all, congratulations. Jammer, hindi lang fashion sense mo yung maganda, no? Pati rin ang performance mo ngayong gabi. Last game against Quezon, you only scored 4 points, pero ngayon bumawi ka naman. May reason ba sa pagpawi mong yun?
Walang sawang pagdadasal lang sa Diyos sa ngalan ng Panginoong Jesucristo. So yun, binigyan niya ako ng magandang laro ngayon.
First best player of the game, anong nararamdaman mo ngayon?
Thank you God at saka sa mga teammate ko, sa mga coaches, sa mga family, sa family ko, sa asawa ko na walang sawang na sumusuporta at nagpapayo sa akin.
Alright, Jammer, meron ka pa bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan? Go ahead.
Siyempre binabati ko unang-una sila Boss Dennis, Boss Strike, so lahat ng mga bosses sa Bacoor, mga coaches ko, teammate ko. Binabati ko yung asawa ko, si Princess, si James, si Jaden, and lahat ng mga nasa bahay, pati yung dyan Princess Carwash, binabati ko. So binabati ko rin si Boss Robert Kay ng Boracay de la Ia.
Thank you so much. Once again, that is Jammer Hamito, our best player of the game. Migs and Javi?
Thank you so much, Andrea, and thank you so much, Mr. Jammer Hamito. Congratulations to the Bacoor City Strikers. And we do thank you for joining us, folks. For Javi Palanya and Andrea Indicio, my name is Mix Gomez. At ito po, ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.